Is this thing on? Can we get started? Okay. What's up everybody and welcome back to another great video. My name is Alden here at opticalproduction.com. I want to say I appreciate all the subscription and likes on all my videos, and if you are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and like and comment as well. Today we're going to learn how to create a 2.5 animation parallax in After Effects. And if you're asking yourself, what am I supposed to do with something like this? I think this is a great way to showcase your photography on Instagram and other social platforms. It's a great way to make yourself stand out and also present something that's different and unique. This technique has been around for a while now. I will showcase and teach you how to do it easily. All you really need is After Effects, and if you don't, just make sure you download it. There's a student version available on their website. Let's waste no more time and get into it. Let's go. Alright, let's get started. We are actually in Photoshop. What we're gonna do, we're gonna prep all our work in here and export all our assets to get it ready for After Effects. We're gonna use this image here, what you see in front of you. We're gonna separate the subject from the background and make them all independent. And this picture right here is by Michelle de la Vara. I hope I said that right, and you can check her website out. And she has just beautiful work. And it's just amazing. I'm a big fan, and that's why I actually use one of her pictures to use for this demonstration. So first thing what we want to do here in Photoshop, like I said, we want to separate the subject from the background. What I usually do, what you want to do first is to duplicate your layer. The bottom one will be your background and the top one will be your subject, so you can rename it real quick and just type in subject. And right now what we want to do first is we want to get the polygon tool and zoom in a little bit and kind of go as close as you can to the subject and cut her out, and then we're gonna take care of the background after. So just I'm gonna fast forward these steps right here. Alright, now that you have selected her all the way around, we want to invert the selection and then just click delete. Now we have this, what's left behind. It's her and a little bit of the background with her. So what we are trying to do is really just keep the hairs and also but get rid of the background. So deselect your selection right here and then go to the erase tool. And I think many people think that there's only one thing in the erase tool, but you also have the background eraser tool, which is amazing. So click on that, and right here on top, what you want to do is keep it in the middle one. Never use the third one really, the selection right here, but always the first one or the second one. I usually use the second one right here, which samples the color but behind it and it deletes it. But the tolerance right here, you want to play around with it time to time. You want to maybe start off at like 19 or 20 and then move up later on and increase the number. So just let me demonstrate and kind of zoom in here a little bit, and you just want to click on the color, sample the color which you want to get rid of, and just delete it. Just as this easy as is. Deselect, click on it again and sample another color, and keep doing this till you get everything cleaned up. It will leave a little bit behind, but if you increase this number right here, the tolerance, it will actually delete it faster, and it will sample more and get rid of more of the colors that you want to get rid of. I try to keep it safe and keep the number low for first, because I do not want to delete none of the hair or anything that has to do with her. Keep doing this till you get everything cleaned up. Right here on the bottom you will have a little bit trouble cleaning it, because it does reflect the color of the background on her skin color. And what happens is when you do click on this, it will delete her as well. And even if you put the tolerance down, it will still delete her a little bit. So what you want to do in this part, what I did two sections. The first sections I just did the hair this way with the eraser tool, and the bottom half I actually used the pen tool and created a mask around it and deleted her bottom. Once you have cleaned her off completely, we want to actually just have the background by itself. We're gonna get rid of the logo right here and also her completely. So on the bottom layer, what you want to do is select the spot healing brush and simply just select all of her. And there you go, she's completely gone. It left a little bit behind, but what you want to do is just fix that and then just select the logo and get rid of the logo. And now just if you can make some adjustments. If you don't like something, you can just kind of maybe sample here and there to make it look the way you want it. But right now we have the background and the subject completely separate from each other, which that's actually what I want. And then you want to save out the background on its own as a JPEG, and then save her out and maybe crop her first like so, and save her out as a PNG. Alright, now that we are in After Effects, we want to import all our assets and everything that we need to get this going. So first of all, this is something that I did beforehand already. I import everything in and I added like some leaves to her and animated the background and her as well. So let's just get started from the scratch. So you want to do a new composition. 1920 by 1080 is fine, 30 frames per second, and maybe make it like 10 seconds long. So let's just change that real quick here. 10 seconds and press OK. So now that we have everything in here, we want to import our background and her in our composition, add her, and everything will be unproportional right now. Everything is scaled up differently and whatnot. So let's just kind of leave it as is for right now. And the first thing that we want to do is turn her into a 3D layer. So you want to add her that she's 3D, and then we want to go to layer, new, and then create a camera. And camera settings should be fine, 50mm. Just press OK. For this demonstration it will do. And then what you're gonna do is go to your 4 view, and now that we wanna separate everything from each other. So we want to move everything around. We want to move her forward, and the camera is right here, and we're gonna move the camera back a little bit, and then move the background away from her. So we have that depth of field, and then go back into your 1 view, and now everything looks crazy and whatnot, but you want to select the background and scale it up a little bit like so, and then select her and scale her down like so, and try to match the picture how it was taken. I think she was a little bit smaller like that, and she was here somewhere. So what you want to do now is, if you go into your camera view and open up your transform layer, if we do move the position now, see how everything actually moves nicely according to the background in her, because she is completely separate from the background, and there's a type of depth of field to it, so it's definitely really cool. So, but before we do all of that, I want to animate the camera first, and I'm going to animate the position first. So we want to take a keyframe here at the beginning and go into your scale. So we want to keep it like that and go all the way to the end and scale her up like so. And what we also can do, we can actually move her a little bit to the left, actually right like this. So when we play this back now, it will look something like this. It looks cool, but we're not done yet. I have to actually adjust some more stuff. Go to the background and collapse that and open up the transform tool, and we want to actually scale it down. So we do want to actually scale it back up again a little bit like so, and then that's the starting point. Select the keyframe, go all the way to the end and scale that down like so. So when we do scale, if you can see, the background gets smaller and when we move forward she gets bigger. So it will look something like that, as you can see what I'm going for here. You can also do different types of animation. You can move her to the left or right, any type of effect that you want to do. So it's like you can, you know, pan her to the left or right. It really depends what kind of look you're going for. But this one that I'm making is kind of zooming in a little bit to her and separating her from the background even further. To actually enhance this image a little bit more, this small animation, I want to add some leaves to her falling from the trees here. And I have gone online and I downloaded one image. Let me actually drag that onto the composition, and it looks something like this. Yeah, I couldn't find a PNG what I was looking for, but we can actually easily get rid of the white. Just go to your effects and presets and type in extract and drag that onto your image. And now go into your menu and get rid of all the white. But it really stands out, the leaf, and this is something that it doesn't really match her and the composition right now. So I'll need to do some adjustments to it. But before I do that, let's take care of the animation first. So what I want to do is scale it up like this. This is going to be in the front, and I'm gonna duplicate this and move one in the back like so. There's gonna be one falling from here, which is smaller, and then maybe one more. Maybe it will start right here. It's gonna be a little bit bigger. It's gonna be right at her level. So now that we need to separate all of these out, we wanna turn those into 3D layers as well. And now it's gonna change, of course. It's gonna be all behind, but you wanna readjust everything back up again and select your leaf right here, this one, and move it to the Z direction till it actually comes where she's at, and then scale it down. And then select all your other leaves right here and move them. This one's gonna be all the way in the front, and move that one down and scale it down just a bit down. And then the last one will be one that's behind her, which is completely fine where it is right now, which I really like, and it's gonna have a starting point maybe like right over here somewhere. So just open them all up, and then open the transform menu, and then position first, and then these are all the starting points, and then we're gonna move all of it to the right to the end point, and then grab each one and then mess around with the position, make him fall like so. And then we're gonna grab this one, and this one is gonna fall as well. Like so till here. And then we're gonna select the last one and do the same thing and let that one fall as well, kind of like that. And now when we play this back, you can see them falling. But one thing I don't like is that they're all falling at the same time. So they look very similar to each other. So you want to maybe change the animation up and add some added rotation to it. So we want to rotate in the Z axis. So select Z on all of them. It's really easy. Once you do one, it's really just the same thing over and over again. So, but with a different number. So we have this one, we're gonna rotate this one positive 40. We're gonna select this one, we're gonna negative 16. And the front one, we want to increase the number more, maybe has more spin to it, maybe negative 62. And then when we play this back, as you can see, they kind of fall all differently. They look independent from all of the other ones. So, but I want to add more detail to it. So we want to rotate in the Y axis. So again, select Y rotation, Y rotation, Y rotation right here. So start off with this layer and then go all the way to the end. And what we want to do is rotate just a little bit and give it a little spin. And always pick a different number for each one of them. Maybe this one can rotate all the way around 180, and then the last one like I said, just a little bit, maybe like so. And when you play them back, they look all different, as you can see when they fall, which looks really cool. But we need to change up maybe the depth of field of it. They're all in focus, which I don't like, which doesn't really fit the image. So what we want to do is apply, go to your effects, blur, and then Gaussian blur. Gaussian blur. Okay, now that we have selected that one, we want to increase the number, and that's the one that's like right next to her. So we want to maybe just blur it out just a little bit. Command C, and then apply it to your other ones. That one in the back will be blurred out completely, like so. And then the last one in front of her will be also blurred out completely. So we want to blur that out and give it like nice depth of field. So when you do playback now, as you can see, it looks believable, like they're really falling, and it matches the camera depth of field with what kind of lens they actually shot the picture with. So as you can see, it's falling, but the color really stands out. So we want to maybe collapse all your animation now, all the leaves, so we have a better look at everything. And we want to apply, I want to apply some color correction to it. So we want to actually add a tint to it and put that down to like maybe 40% or so. As you can see already, it is blending already with it. So do another color correction, go to color correction and add another hue saturation, and maybe bring it down a little bit like so, and maybe bring the color up, just kind of mess around until it actually blends all together. As you can already see, it looks great already. Everything matches nicely, and the animation, as you can see when I play it back, it falls right in front of her, and it gives it more interest in the animation. It looks much better. To enhance this even further, what you can do is I downloaded some overlays for this. So I downloaded this on YouTube right here to overlay on my image. So you want to convert it into a 3D layer right away, and then scale it up like so, and then move it back into the Z axis. It needs to be behind it, and of course scale up a little bit further, and then go to your blending. And then once you have it in here, you want to blend it all together and go to overlay, and then open the parameters and then transform, and then put the opacity down. We just want a little bit in there to flicker. We don't want to over exaggerate like this too much. When you play back, it doesn't really look believable. I mean, it looks crazy right now, which I don't like, but we want to just give it a little bit interest. So just maybe like 6% or 9% or so. And when we play it back, there's something in there that's moving. Like I said, we don't want to overdo it. We just want to make it settle and make it look great, to give it more interest into the image. And you can add all kinds of stuff into it right now. You can add some light flares, if you want to add some smoke for more interest, depending on an image that you have. Anything really will work to give it more interest. For this image, I chose just some leaves falling, and you know, so for this image right here, I just kind of chose some leaves falling and a little bit of overlays right here for the background. But overall, I think this is complete. It looks great. You can maybe put your signature right here in the bottom right, or your website and whatnot, and maybe do a couple of these, maybe like 10 or so for each image, and then put some music behind it, and then combine them all together, and you have yourself a demo reel you can showcase on social media. You can even just save them out and individually and put them on Instagram and showcase all your work that you do. Thank you so much for watching today's episodes. I really do appreciate it. And like I said before, if you're new to this channel and you like my videos, please subscribe and also leave a comment. You can also suggest other topics for me to go over, and I will definitely take that in consideration and look at all the comments you guys post. So thank you so much for watching, and see you guys next time.